Hey everyone, welcome to LezPod. You are here, my friends, because you believe in the LGBTQ plus community and the importance of sharing our individual stories to help influence one another by sharing our experiences, okay? Our goal with the show is to introduce you to people and ideas that are going to help motivate you to pursue your dreams and empower you to believe in yourselves. My name is Alexandria Friedlander, and I'm here to introduce you to remarkable people who have helped shift the world we live in today. Today's guest is professional American wrestler, Kiera Hogan. Help me welcome her to the show. Woo! Yeah, girl! Welcome! Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. You are a two-time champion wrestler. That is pretty amazing. And you are 4'11". Is that correct?
That is correct. I'm a little shorty, a little fun size.
But that just shows you, right, that you can be anything you want to be despite your height, your weight, whatever, however you were made, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about you. Let's go back to kind of childhood, how you were brought up, where you're from. Let's share that with the audience.
So I was born and raised in Decatur, Georgia, which is like 20 minutes east of Atlanta. So I'm from East Atlanta, Decatur, Georgia. I was born and raised there. I have a little brother, very traditional family. My parents got divorced when I was 6 years old, but my parents were great co-parents, making sure that I was able to see my dad and have time with my mom just the same. I grew up doing a lot of extracurricular activities. I played violin, I played clarinet, I was a Girl Scout, I did gymnastics, I did dance, baton twirling, you name it, I wanted to do it. So I wanted to be in everything because I just had so much creative. I feel like even as a child, I just had so much creative energy. But my dad and brother were the ones who got me involved with wrestling. My brother was a huge fan as a kid. But, as we got older, I was the one that stayed like obsessed with it. But, liking wrestling, I got bullied for liking wrestling. I got bullied for other things. And I always wanted, I just knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a wrestler. That was something that I wanted to do. I was like, I feel like I can do that. I'm a huge fan. It's got all these different things that I'm in love with, the theatrics, the sports. I played soccer growing up. So I was always a super athletic kid. Like I said, very involved. And then after I graduated high school, I jumped right into wrestling. I started as an interviewer and a ring announcer in my first year. And then after that, I was like, no, this is not what I want to do in wrestling. I want to be in the ring. So then I started training. And a year later,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what made you want to transition from being behind the scenes, talking about the action and wanting to be in the action? What was that like? What was that inside of you that drove you to want to be in the ring as opposed to behind it? Because it's scary to put yourself out there in front of the public eye.
I mean, it definitely is, but in the ring, behind the scenes, either way, like I was a writer. I used to write my own storylines and stories. So I was like, and journalism was my major in community college before I, knew that I didn't want to be in college. So I thought it was a good way to kind of learn the ropes of wrestling before getting in the ring, before I was ready to be like, okay, I'm ready to train. But like I said, I was just ready to train. At some point, I was like, I'm tired of being behind the scenes. I want to be in the ring. I want them to announce me. I want to be the center of attention. So it just came from the determination and drive wanting to be in the ring. I was like, I'm going to end up in that ring.
I love it. I love it. Quick random question. What is your birth sign?
I'm a Virgo, September 16th.
Virgo. So do Virgos usually like to be in the limelight?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
I feel like we're introverted extroverts. Like we don't like social settings all the time, but when we get into social settings, the spotlight's on us.
So you decided to, get from behind the ring, the camera and the mic, and jump into the ring. And how did that happen? Did you find a coach? Like, how does that work for people who don't, understand how it operates, that sport?
So when you get into wrestling, you usually go to wrestling school, which teaches you the foundations of different moves, like your basic moves. You can also train to be a referee. You can train to be a ring announcer, like I did. Like I feel like the wrestling schools usually just you become a well-rounded personality within all walks of life through wrestling. So I found a school, WWA4, which is in Atlanta. Like I said, I knew in middle school that I wanted to be a wrestler. But by the time I got to high school, I was like, okay, I need to be serious about this. Let me do some research. I hopped on Google real quick to look up wrestling schools. And WWA4 was the first one that popped up, and it happened to be like 30 minutes from my house. So I started going there with my friends. I would go because they had live shows on Thursday. I would go to the shows and watch the shows. The head trainer at the time, Mr. Hughes, who trained me, he heard that I was interested in being in the business. So he was like, hey, why don't you be the ring announcer in the interview? And I was like, okay, sure. If that's going to get me in. And once I started doing that just at the school, then I got booked to do it outside of Georgia, in North Carolina, in Florida, and other places. But Mr. Hughes ended up being my wrestling trainer. Again, he knew that I wanted to be a wrestler before I even wanted to be an interviewer and a ring announcer. And he was like, one day he was just like, get your shoes and get in the ring. And I was like, okay.
Awesome.
So that's literally how it started.
So you just jumped right in. Tell me about your first experience wrestling.
Oh man. Well, the first day of training, like I said, they teach you the foundations of wrestling, like headlock takeovers and just very basic, like day one moves, but they also want you to bump on your first day, which is how we fall. And usually when you fall, your body wants to catch you. So you literally have to learn how to fall correctly. And most people, when they take their first bump, they'll be ready to walk out. I took my first bump and I was like, yep, this is what I want to do.
Love it. So you had the passion inside of you.
Definitely. I had that fire.
The LGBTQ plus side of you, because you are recently out, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's a big deal. That just to share with everybody, I did reach out to Kiera, and she's a very busy woman, and I wasn't sure if she was going to be interested in being on LezPod, but she contacted me back, when she had months later, but it's all about persistence and making that connection. And I didn't know that you'd just recently come out. And that's a big deal for somebody who, at the end of the day, you are a celebrity. You're an influencer. You are an example to the people. So I would love to share some of your stories so that you can be an example to the LGBTQ plus community, especially targeting lesbians, since you are a lesbian. Is that correct?
Yes.
You identify honestly, as lesbian?
So when I was young, like I said, I was bullied. I had a situation in middle school where I was talking to this girl and we were kind of secretly girlfriends.
How old?
And we were 13.
Okay.
And we were on the dance team together. Somebody told our dance coach or teachers or somebody that we were like secretly a thing, and we both got kicked off the dance team.
Wow.
My dance coach told my mom told my dad, my grandma found out. It was this huge kind of traumatizing situation that happened to me because everybody in my life was telling me how wrong it was to be gay and why was I gay. So I pushed it to the back of my mind. even though I had these feelings, I felt like there was nobody I could talk to about them. But then going into high school, I was like, okay, I'm at a new school. I'm not with those same kids that bully me and threaten me and all this other stuff. So I was again kind of secretly out. Like I had my friends that were like out, but I really wasn't. But I dated girls. Again, it was in secret. I didn't tell anybody. And then after high school, I dated a man for 5 years. And I told him that I was bisexual, and he didn't have a problem with it. But as our relationship went on, I still felt like I wasn't completely myself. I felt like there was something missing. And my girlfriend, Diamante, or Priscilla,
Shout out to
she
Diamante.
shout out to my baby. I had known her for a couple of years before we started talking. Like, I'm about to go into this sappy story. But the first time I met her was at a wrestling show. It was our first time on the same wrestling show. And literally, I shit you not. The first moment I saw her, I felt this kind of like internal feeling like I knew her or she was going to be important in my life. I just didn't know what. There was just something kind of drawing me to her. So I always had a crush on her years after that, but I never told her because, again, I was in a relationship. She was in a relationship. So I was like, no. And then, like I said, I had this traumatizing thing that happened to me. So I was always afraid of rejection from friends, from coworkers, from colleagues, from whoever. I was just terrified of rejection. So I didn't want to come out to anybody. Like I said, I kept it hidden. I ended up breaking up with my ex. And my friend, Jamie, I told Jamie, who is actually trans now, I told my friend Jamie, I was like, I really like this girl. I don't know, like, what to say to her. Like, I'm scared she's going to be like, oh, no, you're gay. Like, I was terrified to tell her anything.
Right.
So she kind of set us up. And then we started talking, but again, it was in secret. But I don't know, like, being with her and talking to her and my coworkers, I used to work for Impact Wrestling. All of my sisters, because they were my sisters, they could see how happy I was from one relationship to the next. They could see the glow within me. They could see I was happy all the time. And they knew I was talking to her, but again, we weren't public or anything. And they actually kind of gave me the confidence to come out online because they were like, you're so happy, like, why are you trying to hide this? Like, people, we love you, like, everybody loves you, like, it doesn't matter. And honestly, that gave, like I said, it gave me the confidence to come out. Like, and I came out online before I told my parents because, again, I was afraid of rejection, but I knew my fan base would love me no matter what.
And
So,
how did you come out online? On what platform?
on Instagram.
You came out on Instagram, and what
Yeah.
did you post as like the image, and what was the content that you wrote? Do you remember?
So me and my girlfriend did a photo shoot in Florida a couple months before. And we kind of did them separately, but I had this shirt that says kiss whoever the fuck you want with the flag on it. And I was wearing because I was gonna come out for Pride. So I was like, oh, this will be cute to like come out for Pride. Like, I don't have to come out with her. Like, it's okay. Like, and she was kind of apprehensive about dating in the business. So I was the first person she had dated in our industry. So she was kind of apprehensive about us coming out because she didn't want people to look at us differently or treat us differently, which is understandable.
Right.
So I wore that shirt, and then I was like, come in this photo with me. And we were taking pictures together, and I was kissing her. So I used the photo of us kissing as my like coming out post. And it was such a cute picture. And I wrote this long drawn out thing about her and about me and how much I love her and how she makes me feel. And we pretty much came out together.
Wow, that's incredible. And she's also a wrestler.
Yes.
For all those that aren't aware. Wow.
Yes.
And I just want to, that's amazing. Congratulations on coming out. How old were you when you came out?
I was 24, 25 maybe, and I'm 28 now. So it was like 3 years ago.
Wow. Well, that's really inspiring to the people out there that are around your age range who are still struggling to be themselves, to come out because they fear society's judgments. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard. So I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being yourself, and for going after what you're passionate about, because you are an example and you need to know that not many people have the courage to be able to come out and really represent who they are, because they are so scared about the public eye. And being in the public eye as much as you are, it's a risk. So I commend you for
Thank you.
being yourself. It's very empowering.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. What was it like when you got caught when you were younger? What was it like, being caught by your family, and how did they react? Just to give some perspective to those that might have experienced similar things or might be afraid to share that information.
Oh, definitely. Because I mean, everything I've gone through has shaped me to who I am today. Like all of those experiences, and it was traumatizing. Like I said, I was just terrified because I couldn't understand what I was doing that was so wrong. I was like, what is so wrong about this? And at the time, there were like reality shows like A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila. So I was like, oh, maybe. I mean, I think I
Wow,
like
I
girls.
remember
Maybe
that.
I could be bisexual, and that's kind of what like sparked that. Because I feel like I always looked at girls differently. Not all girls, but I kind of had this different view about women that I felt like wasn't typical. So
What do you
it
mean
was
by
just
that? Elaborate.
like, I felt like I was looking at girls in like this different way, rather than just being like, oh, she's pretty. I would be like, oh, she's pretty. I kind of like her. Like, but I felt like, again, because I was raised in a Christian household, my cousin's dad is like a preacher. Like I was raised in the church, or kind of raised in the church. So it was always told to me that it was wrong. So that's why I always kept it hidden. So when my family found out, when grandma found out, I feel like my grandma was like the hardest hit, because I knew that was not her. She did not play about that. And it was just hard to, just like I said, I just felt like I was disappointing my family. And like I said, it just felt like I was doing something so wrong.
And what made you feel that way? I mean, did they say things? Did they ignore you? Can you give me a
Um,
little bit more insight as to how you were treated that made you feel that way?
yeah, that I was definitely told things. My grandmother specifically, I remember her pulling me into a parking lot by myself and asking why I like girls and I shouldn't like girls because it's wrong. Um, my dad said the same thing. It was wrong. My mom couldn't understand, like, why are you doing this? Why do you like girls? Like, it's wrong. I just kept hearing it's wrong. I felt like that's what really stuck to me was it's wrong. It's wrong. You shouldn't do it. It's wrong. And like I said, I just had that fear of rejection, because even in high school, there was a boy that I liked and he outed me in front of my whole class. Like he heard that I was talking to a girl and he was like, "What? You're gay?" And he literally said it in front of the whole class, and I had to like leave the classroom. Like so many instances of rejection gave like instilled this fear of me of never wanting to come out. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever come out, honestly. I never thought I would come out. I never thought I would have a girlfriend. Never thought I would be living with a girl. Never, ever, ever, ever in a million years would I have thought. But until I found my girlfriend, I just saw so many possibilities.
So what would you say to the people out there that identify as bisexual and might feel that they prefer one sex over the other, what do you have to kind of say to those to bisexual people?
I mean, love who you want, be with who you want. If it's a girl, if it's a guy, if it's a trans man, if it's a trans woman, be who you want to be with. You have one life to live, and you can't live by other people's judgment or rules, because nobody makes the rules. We're all human. We all have feelings, and all of your feelings are right, and you are the only person that knows your truth. Like I said, I felt like I was bisexual for the longest time until being with my girlfriend. I was like, I just feel like I don't think I could ever be with another man after my girlfriend. Even if something was to happen to us, I just feel more comfortable being with women. So I'm like, I feel like maybe I do identify as lesbian because I do feel more comfortable being with women. But it's there's no rules to say you have to be under this umbrella or you have to stay in this lane. Be who you want to be. Live your truth and live your life to the fullest. That's what I live by. Just, you have one life to live and live it to the fullest.
Right. Life's short. Enjoy it.
It really is.
And you never know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. So it's time to start embracing who you are.
It's never too late.
Being in the spotlight, you know, as a celebrity, what is something that you would kind of like to see in general more in the lesbian community? Because I don't know if you are involved, if you know, go out to lesbian events or bars or scenes, or if you have lesbian friends, but what is something that you'd like to see more of within the community of lesbians?
Well, right now I feel like, especially in the spotlight, there's so much more, so many more people from our community being put into the spotlight to be able to talk about all of their experience, because I feel like talking about it has been such taboo. And I feel like even in wrestling, because wrestling being gay was such a taboo, so many people were hiding. Me and my girlfriend honestly were like the first girl couple to come out together in wrestling, because a lot of female wrestlers like don't date each other, but now there's a couple, because like I feel like after us.
Oh, that's amazing. That's inspiring.
Yeah, it is. Like, and to be able to be like, you know, we helped kind of pave the way for other people to be like, you know what, it's okay, I like this girl, I'm gay, I'm gonna ask her out. Like, it's okay. Like, if you like somebody and you want to say something about it, say something about it. Please shoot your shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. My girlfriend said that. Like,
yes.
you have to, you know, keep shooting until it sticks. That's what.
Yes, you got to try, because if you don't try, you'll never know.
You will never know.
And we
have
one life. We have one life, right? So whether it's shooting your shot in a career, a job, going after your crush, you know, starting that business that you're scared to start, you know, working on yourself, going to therapy, doing things that scare the shit out of you, do them, because it's going to help you grow. It's going to help your self-esteem. Shit, we're running out of time. And it's empowering. So I'd like to know, I definitely want to have another interview with you. I'd love to know more about you. Maybe we can do an interview with you and your girlfriend if that's something that would be of interest.
That sounds awesome. Honestly, I know she would be down for it.
Okay, perfect. So just to kind of finish this off, what is the legacy, Kiera, that you want to leave behind as a person, as a member of the community, as a passionate person? What's the legacy that you'd like to leave behind? And I know that's a good question.
I really just want to impact people for living your truth. I feel like that's something I very much advocate for. It's just living your truth. Like I said, like, I wish I was more, I'm trying to get more involved in the community, because like I said, I feel like I've just missed out on so many experiences because I was scared or I was hiding, but now I just want to do everything. I want to go to all the pride parades. I want to go to all the Girls in Wonderland. I just want to be super involved in, like, because I feel so safe within the community. I was just talking to my girlfriend about this today. I was like, I just feel so safe going to these events, going to gay clubs, just being with my people. It's such a safe community. And I just want people to live their truth, live your life for you, and live your best life. Like, I've been able to do events with Impact Wrestling. They gave me a whole coming out tour in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
I hosted a drag show. I dropped the puck at a hockey game. I was able to talk to kids, which, being a child and being gay can be so scary because of society. And I always tell the kids that I meet, just live your life for you. You know who you are. You know who you want to be, and don't let anybody steer you from being you.
I love that. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. What is something that inspires you to get up every single morning, even on your bad days, even on the days that you feel like crap? Because at the end of the day, you might be very successful, you might be out there in the public eye, but you are a human being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do feel feelings just like everybody else. And then also one more question, if we can get it in within 6 or 7 minutes, I'd like to know, how do you feel about the trans community? And I like that you brought it up, because I've been working with the trans community very closely recently, and I feel as if they are not in the forefront of the attention that they deserve. And I just like to know, what your opinion is. And so those kind of 2 questions in one. Just do your job.
I think what motivates me to get up every morning, one is, like I said, just living my life and not trying to waste time. Like, I've been trying to be better about making every moment count, every second, every minute of the day count. That's another thing my girlfriend has been trying to instill in me, because I do have those days where I just want to sit on the couch and do nothing. And she's like, you literally could have the world eating out of the palm of your hand if you just put forth a little effort. And she's absolutely right. Like, I just try to, like, work towards, like, my my goal of, like, getting my name out there and being who you want to be, and just showing people, like, being a nice person doesn't cost anything. Like, just being a nice person. So I feel like I just want people to know me for me, and I just want to get out all of my creativity. Like I said, I was a writer. I want to get back into writing. I really want to get into acting and modeling aside from wrestling. I definitely want to see how far wrestling goes, because it's been my lifelong dream and I live it every day.
I love that. We'll collaborate, because I am a filmmaker. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm a filmmaker and I do digital marketing. We'll make some magic happen on this.
Oh, definitely. I'm excited.
And tell me, and thank you for sharing all that. That's very motivating. And it's true. You have to push yourself. You got to push yourself. And it's very nice. And I'm very happy for you that you have someone in your life who's supportive and helps motivate you to encourage you to keep going.
Yeah,
sometimes we were born alone, we die alone, but at the end of the day, I think support and that connection is so essential. And I'm so grateful that you have that in your life. You deserve it. As does
I appreciate her every single day, even when we have those good times, bad times. I love her no matter what. I love her to the ends of earth and back. Like, that's going to be my wife one day. That's going to be my wife one day. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but she's going to be my wife one day.
What is your stance on the trans community?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say that I have a few trans friends that I absolutely adore. One of them is in wrestling, or a couple of them are in wrestling, but one works with me at AEW. Her name is Nyla Rose, and she is a huge advocate for the trans community, and she is an amazing person. I absolutely love her. I loved her before she came out. I loved her after. Like, again, people's bodies, they have their own decision on what they want to do with them. If somebody does not feel comfortable in their body, they are able to do whatever they want to make themselves happy. Like, if it, I just hate that people feel the need to say how other people should run their lives or have rules on how they should be or how they should dress or how they should act. Let people do what they want to do. We're all human. We're all different. Nobody made us the same. That's why we all look different.
Correct.
So,
and that's
live your life for you.
To make the world go round.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Kiera, for being on the show, for being on LezPod, for sharing your experience, strength, and hope with us. You are an amazing woman, and keep going. You know, like, I'm rooting for you. A lot of people out there are rooting for you, and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. We definitely got to get my girlfriend on here because,
yes,
honestly, I could sit here and talk to you for like hours.
I know.